Hey guys, I'm Sean, CEO of Stonehaus Realty, and welcome to another House Talks. Today, you might have noticed it's a little bit of a different atmosphere, a little bit more cash. Long story long, we're here on a team bonding event, skiing in Sun Peaks. And I'm here with one of my favorite people in the world. And I know I say that in every single podcast, but this guy, if I had a newborn baby, I would literally let him babysit. And he's nice enough that he would probably babysit it for me. So anyways, before I get started, everybody, welcome Ben Hack. Ben, thanks for joining the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
So if you don't know, Ben is actually our managing broker and one of the guys that basically started Stonehaus in Kamloops and now manages the entire interior area as well as some of our lower mainland realtors. So Ben, tell us your story, buddy. How did you get into real estate?
I got into real estate about 4 or 5 years ago. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
As far as a career goes, I was working at the hospital, just doing real estate on the side, buying, selling, flipping houses. And it was a career path that needed to happen. And it was always a natural industry that I enjoyed working in.
And so you came from the hospital before. So obviously you kind of have that, which I kind of preluded to, that natural caregiving kind of guy.
Yes.
You are like the gentle giant. How tall are you?
I'm 6'5".
6'5", yeah. So he's a little guy. So what made you make the switch other than, was it just interest in like flipping houses? You liked houses, or what inspired you to get into this business?
Honestly, it was selfish reasons at first. I had a bad day on the job at the hospital, and I was thinking, well, maybe I can do the real estate thing full time and save some money by doing a little bit of self-representation, which we now learn you can't really do anyways. But just take advantage of it that way and move, and it was dynamic from there, and learned so much more about it.
Nice. So tell us about the first few years in real estate. Obviously, you've helped open up a brokerage.
Yep.
You got your managing broker's license.
Yep.
Like, how did that all come to fruition?
Yeah, I was with another brokerage in Kamloops, just kind of trying to find my way. Didn't have the direction per se. I had the grind. I was selling houses, but I didn't really know where it was going. And my cousin, who you'd onboarded in Nanaimo, Corey, gave me a call. I was actually at an appointment at the hospital with my wife for our son, who's now 1.5 years. He said, "Hey, I just had a chat with this great guy, Sean. I think you'd like him. There's nobody in Kamloops with this company, and it's a fantastic company. I think you should run and start the Kamloops division."
That's awesome. Yeah, that was the best $1,000 I ever gave Corey. Money well spent for those words.
Yeah.
Okay, so you started real estate, a little bit of a struggle at the beginning, but you were hustling, getting deals done, right? You transitioned, like how long did it take you to transition to full-time? Because that's one thing that comes up quite a bit is new agents, obviously, talked about this before, it's so expensive to live in BC or more or less anywhere in Canada. So it's difficult to go from like, okay, I got a full-time job that I get paid well, I do well, to now being an entrepreneur, self-employed. I got to pay $50,000 a year just to be in business, basically. Like, how did that switch, or how did that process go?
You know, I was lucky to have really incredible mentors in the office that I started in. The office closed down before I switched to Stonehaus, but I worked with Vince Cavalier and Richard Bates and Henry Hayward, who now works with us as well. All just fantastic mentors, and both, well, especially Richard at the beginning, he said, "You can't do this job part-time." Yeah. He's old-fashioned that way. It's not going to work. Yeah. And I dropped the hospital for a full year when I started real estate just to learn the craft. Yeah. And I was in the office every morning bright and early. We were grinding there, and it really helped me learn what I was doing. And then I did start to pick up part-time a little bit until I joined Stonehaus. Yeah. And then it required to jump back in full.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's expensive to be there, but I think that's an important point. You got to look at it this way. It's like, there's how many part-time lawyers are there? How many part-time accountants are there? There's not very many. Yep. And most of them aren't dealing with multi-million-dollar investments and purchases and so on and so forth. So it always kind of blows my mind. I understand the transition of going from where you're at to begin with to becoming a full-time realtor. It could take 6 months, maybe a year, but the whole part-time realtor for life thing, I think, it jeopardizes a lot in the business, both for the the ability, which we'll talk about you being a managing broker, your abilities and know-how and the likelihood of getting sued, and then obviously protecting your clients in the long run, right? So what made you want to do the managing broker stuff?
Well, that was kind of the most accidental thing of the whole process. It was a role and a need that we had to take the Kamloops office to the next level. Managing broker was never on my radar. It's a lot of commitment and it's a lot of risk. But Stonehaus gave me the tools in the sense that when I started building out the Kamloops office, I had full say on anyone who came in. Obviously, you gave me that permission. And it was, if someone didn't fit from a reputation standpoint or even from a trust standpoint on my end, I could say no, and the company wasn't going to override that. So I had the luxury of picking some fantastic agents, and we're up to 15 in less than a year in Kamloops. And every single one of them, I could sit down and, well, I mean, most of them are up here with us. And I enjoy hanging out with them. And they're all very good character, very good agents. And it made and to take their careers and their journeys with Stonehaus to the next level, we needed to have a Kamloops managing broker and a Kamloops office with the address there.
So obviously it takes a different character. Like myself, I'm the worst managing broker on the planet. Like I love helping people, coaching people, training people on how to grow their business, but I have a hard time hand holding people, for lack of a better word. But you are that caring guy that takes care of people. But the one thing I love about you too is like you give chances, but at the same time you don't put up with BS, which is great. What has that been like? You know, from going from a newer realtor in the grand scheme of things, right? There's a lot of realtors that have been in the business for, I don't know, 600 years, it feels like. They never retire. But what has that been like for you?
Yeah, it was a nerve-wracking thing at the start, just not having the many years of experience working as a realtor. But I did feel, and as I worked through the managing broker course, and now I've been the managing broker for almost a year, I realized that it was a natural fit for my strengths in real estate, both from just a contract knowledge, problem solving, which we're dealing with all the time. I can give good advice to my agents. But yeah, it ended up being a natural fit, and I fell into the role, and I do enjoy the role now, but I don't handhold people. I do expect, as I think the BCFSA expects the realtors to perform at a certain level. And I make that clear. And yes, I'll support agents when they need it, and I will always have my agents back. But there is a certain level we need to operate at. And I think holding them to that standard makes them better agents as well.
I agree. So on the managing broker side, now that you work with directly and indirectly, like over 300 agents, what are like the most common mistakes? What are like the things that you see both in like new agents, seasoned agents, obviously maybe different issues, but where's the things that you have a hard time sleeping at night over?
None of it gives me a hard time sleeping at night. I give the advice that agents need when they need it. I guess the most common mistake I see just from an overall skill as an agent level is agents that tend to get too emotionally involved, to get too passionate about how the deal is happening and stop thinking logically about it. How to deal with clients that are upset perhaps with the agent, and maybe having to give a little bit of leeway rather than fighting with people.
Do you find like, are they emotional because of commission, or are they emotional because they want what's best for their client? Combination of both?
I think it's a combination. Definitely sometimes. I mean, I've been the agent that's not liked the way my client's been treated and reacted more emotionally, especially when I was newer, and that was a situation. So, but I think most of the time it's not about commission. It's just about a lot of ego gets involved, and we've got big personalities in real estate. And sometimes you just got to swallow your pride, and the client's right.
Do the right thing.
Yeah.
So, if you were to give advice, we'll start with new agents, right? And I won't even go into like how to build your business and stuff like that, but like making sure you stay out of real estate jail, make sure you know, your contracts are good, make sure your clients are taken care of. You can build that referral business through that exceptional service. What would be some of like the tips and tricks that you would recommend to a brand new agent, somebody just got in the business, getting in the business, thinking of getting in the business?
Hands down, surround yourself with good agents. Surround yourself with agents that are performing well and that are going to be actively involved in helping you build your business, because new agents have a role to play in supporting experienced agents. And don't work in a brokerage that's going to have nobody around or doesn't. I mean, people talk about the physical space getting antiquated, but it's at least set yourself up so you're working with other agents that can teach you the ropes, because you don't learn it through the BCFSA course. You don't learn how to sell real estate. You don't learn how to treat your clients. You need to find a mentor.
Yeah.
And mentorship is so important when you're starting out.
So mentorship obviously comes in, like, you can pay for a mentor, you can be part of a good office, help people out.
Yep.
You can join a team. There's obviously multiple different ways. As far as like, one of the things that I've heard a million times is like, oh, I want to learn everything and anything about contracts before I go into actually selling. And then unfortunately, like, I've been in the business 13 years, been a part of thousands of transactions, and I still learn stuff all the time, right?
Yep.
So how would you better prepare a newer agent, or maybe even an agent that has only done residential and wants to get into pre-sales now, or, you know, switching up some sort of demographic?
Yep.
How would you prepare, or what would you tell them to prepare to be able to get to that next?
I mean, aside from finding a mentor that's experienced, doing the appropriate training that's available to you, that's a given. Just be prepared for the unexpected. Every day I get a contract across my table, or an issue that an agent has that I haven't experienced.
Yeah.
And it's 20, 30 contracts a day now. And there's just so many possible scenarios that you run into, and you start the longer and the more situations you're involved in, they start to repeat. So they get easier to deal with. But as a new agent, just don't get flustered. Go talk to your managing broker if it's a situation where you don't know how to handle it or you're unsure about it. Because we've seen a lot more deals and we've helped a lot of agents. So not guessing, not trying to jump right into it and figure it out yourself all the time.
Yeah.
Is my recommendation.
And I think one of the important things, I think there's two things that I've noticed. First, agents kind of, and you said this already, they get emotional, but they kind of get into like that panic mode.
Yes.
Like, I need to have this done right this second. The blessing of the market we're in right now is most things not in multiple offers. Like, time is of the essence. You got time to do things.
Yep.
So slowing it down, taking the time to actually make sure you're doing right. Obviously, one thing a lot of new agents do, unfortunately, because they don't, once again, like you said, egos in place. They don't want to look like idiots, basically. So they lie or they make stuff up, be like, oh yeah, it's like this. And they really have no idea what they're talking about. So I think one of the most important things about business, real estate, relationships is telling them when you don't know something, but also, like, I'll throw this back onto you. If you don't know something, how do you find out?
We have a lot of resources available to us through the BCFSA. There's a hotline that I call that has very experienced managing brokers. And exactly like you say, is knowing what you don't know.
Yeah.
I will never respond with a guess answer.
Yeah.
If I don't know it, if I'm not 100% sure, I'll get back to you. And it's usually calling the BCFSA. It's consulting with the other managing broker in the company, Tanya, and collaborating a little bit. I mean, I call you if there's situations. Well, we've all experienced different situations,
and I think that's huge. Like, having a managing brokers that support, are knowledgeable, and know how to find the information are absolutely huge. But as a realtor, I think that's a skill, or any entrepreneur, really, any business person, is like, you need to be able to learn. I think one of the biggest skills in business is not knowing everything, but knowing how to find out everything. You know what I mean? Knowing how to learn, knowing where to find that information. So if you're a newer agent, a more experienced agent, whatever, like, the fact is you have access to BCFSA too, not the same hotline you do and so on and so forth, but they have access to all the clauses. They have access to all the information. You have managing brokers. Like, utilizing these things not only makes you look more professional to your client, but it also makes sure that you stay out of real estate jail, which is more importantly. Right?
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay. What's next for Ben? Where do you see Ben in the next few years?
Our growth is infinite in front of us as far as Stonehaus goes in Kamloops. I mean, we're in a small part of BC right now with almost 400 agents. Our vision for Kamloops is to have 35 plus agents by the end of this year. And I do fully believe that that's attainable. And the company as a whole, we're shooting for 600 agents by the end of the year. I want to see Stonehaus up to 1,000 and beyond, and I want to keep working and learning and seeing how it evolves as we go.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too. Obviously, I'm 100% biased, but
Yeah.
okay. So right now, because this is something that I think you do well, very well, and it's something that I've talked about on previous podcasts before too, because it's very difficult for most people to do it. How do you balance it? You got a new baby boy, right? So you have a family to take care of. You're managing broker. You run a successful real estate business where you buy and sell homes for your clients. How do you manage to do all of it?
Just trying to create systems and efficiency where you can, and focusing on the priorities. I mean,
Yeah.
most days I've got a list of things 30 long that I get 15 of them done.
Yeah.
But I ensure I get the most important things done every day. And that's prioritizing. That's not just putting my full focus and priority on Stonehaus.
Yeah.
Because I can't show up for Stonehaus unless I'm focusing on myself, my health, my family, because it's not sustainable.
So tell us about that. Like, what does your daily routine look like? This is a question that I've been asking quite a bit because
Yeah.
a lot of top performers seem to have something very similar, right? Yeah. So what does that look like for you now?
It's become extremely predictable to the hour now. And I'm up with my son 5 a.m. every morning.
Yeah.
Feed him breakfast, get him dressed, get him into daycare at about 7 o'clock every morning.
Yeah.
Straight to the office. I do all of my prospecting, contract review, anything that's basically computer work that I need to have my brain on for in the office from I get there at 7:15. If I drop the kid off, I'm usually there before 7 or at 7 if I don't drop him off. I work on that kind of stuff until noon every day.
Yeah.
Then I go to the gym. I get a workout in. It refreshes me because usually I'm getting sluggish or tired by that time. Yeah. Then I try to organize all my showings, all my listing appointments, inspections, photos, anything I can line up. I do that in the afternoon because that's the stuff I don't have to think hard about. It's
just action.
Yeah, chatting with my clients, helping them with that. And I've done all the prep work in advance. Yeah. So I make sure I'm at home every day, 4:30 to have dinner with my son, put him to bed at 6, and then wrap up any real estate work that's left after that.
That's awesome. And so, I mean, one really cool thing, and obviously half the office is here watching us right now, but you also have enough time to spend with the agents that you work with. Like, you guys organized this wicked trip for us up here. Yeah. And actually more impressively, most people, when they take on more work, so take on the managing broker role, so on and so forth, they let their health, like yours truly, for example, when I got heavy into real estate, I gained like 70 pounds or something ridiculous, right? Yep. Which my girlfriend reminds me every day of. 2018, yep. Sean. But the point is that you actually started and added onto your health journey. And now you're like a madman in the gym doing everything you need to. What was the switch? Like what made you, because that's something that's extremely uncommon.
Trying to get there still. We're working on it. But
well, you're doing the work. So at the end of the day, the results are already there. We're already coming out huge, but they're going to be at next level for sure.
It's a combination of factors. Of course, I had my son. I take that very seriously and being a good role model for him. So that created the necessity. But perhaps even more so is, again, I've got a ton of great people that I've intentionally surrounded myself with at our brokerage that have similar goals, that are working towards the same thing, are taking care of themselves and their business. And when you surround yourself with people that are doing what you want to do and have that kind of motivation, you just naturally gravitate towards that lifestyle.
It's true. There's a lot of 6-packs in your brokerage.
There are. Yes.
As I looked at a few of them.
Yeah. No, it's
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, okay. So talking about more seasoned agents, right? What are some of the things that you find, like you're doing a lot of recruiting and you guys are doing the recruiting a lot based on the culture that you've created.
Yep.
Right. So if maybe there's brokerage owners out there, maybe there's teams, maybe there's whatever. How do you create this culture? Like how does that happen?
I think you just have to be careful. You have to be very careful at the start not to let any energy in that's going to take away from it, and creating especially the initial team with the intention that they can, as soon as you have, like we're up to 15 now.
Yeah.
And when you have more than a few people that are setting the tone for the culture, it makes it much harder to bring in anything that's going to divert from that.
Because they're just going to replicate themselves, basically.
They're the minority. They won't fit in.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're in the initial 5-6 people, one negative attitude can draw away from all that.
And it's crazy being a team leader, brokerage owner, etc. Like I've been totally greedy at certain times and just like it's a number count, body count, as many people that I can work with, whatever. But it's true. Like you could have a rocking team of 20 agents. You bring on 3 or 4 people that just sour everybody, and all of a sudden 10 agents are gone and they're your best, right? So
Exactly.
I hear you loud and clear on making sure you surround yourself. But at the same time, right? How do you attract agents like how did you attract like Kevin Wood, for example, who's sitting behind us here,
Yep.
and like other amazing people that, people look up to, want to work with, that like, how do you bring somebody like that into an organization?
Our organization, I think, is special in that sense where I've said it from the beginning. I haven't pitched a single person on Stonehaus trying to sell them on it.
Yeah.
I don't sell anyone on what we have. Kevin was one of the first people we brought on.
Yeah.
I had worked with him in the past, and I knew that we were alike and similar people, so I sought him out and wanted him on my team.
Yeah.
Showed him what we had to offer, and he saw the same things I did.
Yeah.
And made the decision. It wasn't a sales pitch. It's here's what we have to offer. Here's what this company is doing for us.
Yeah.
There's not much competition out there. So
Thanks. I didn't have to pay for that one this time. I appreciate that. That's awesome.
We create it and you put it in front of people, and that's something we're working on. Is trying to just show genuinely what we're about, because there's no fluff. There's no smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
We are what we are, and we have positives, negatives like anyone else. But if you're a good fit here, you're going to be happy. And no one's come and left us or had anything negative, because we can.
The funny thing is actually you fired, not from yours, but you fired people from our brokerage, right?
Yes.
And I didn't even know about it until afterwards. And obviously I'm like, whatever Ben says, I know he's doing something right for the brokerage.
Yep.
But it's mainly because like it's just culturally the wrong place, or they're doing things that they shouldn't be doing or whatever, because you want to keep that standard, right?
Yep.
But okay, let me ask you this. Why, and this isn't a pitch for Stonehaus. Let's just say this is for any brokerage, right?
Yes.
Like they're starting their own brokerage, they're part of whatever. What do you find top agents are looking for? Like what is the, not necessarily the selling feature, but what are they looking for in a brokerage these days? And maybe what are the newer agents looking for? And if maybe they're a top agent and they're thinking about switching, you should come to Stonehaus.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah, what are you finding? Where are your best conversations?
well, and this has shifted. I thought I knew what people were looking for, and it's been dynamic. And new agents are looking at the numbers.
Yeah.
Typically, they're more low fees. What am I getting?
Yeah.
Experienced agents don't care about low fees.
Yeah.
Generally, they don't care about training as much.
Yeah.
We're lucky to offer great training. Certain brokerages offer training.
Yeah.
Certain brokerages take a larger chunk of what you're making. I think experienced agents want the culture, especially experienced agents that have gotten into more of the offices where they're working alone.
Yeah.
It's been a newer thing up and coming in the last few years, and it just
with
doesn't.
virtual and all these other different things. Yeah.
Real estate excels when it's a collaborative environment where people can come together. It doesn't have to be in a physical office, but people need to be talking about real estate with other realtors, or else you fall behind.
So why is it that you think, well, it's kind of common sense, but why is it that you think that newer agents are penny pinching and thinking more about the fees than they're thinking about like their career and growth?
Well, I mean, they're not selling 50 houses a year, so I think it's an expensive industry to get into.
Yep.
So you got to credit them for that. I paid a 30% chunk of my commission for the first 2 years of my real estate career, and it was 100% worth it. You need to pay for mentorship, because no one's going to mentor you and do all the teaching for nothing.
It's funny. So I think we talked about this yesterday as a group or whatever. When I hire new agents, and I tell them like, why are you looking to join the brokerage or get into the real estate business? Most of them are like, oh, I want to have more free time and make more money. So I'm like, okay, you can only have one or the other, really. Right? Like, it doesn't really make much sense. Then I'm like, what's your goal? And probably the most common number I've heard, I feel like trillion times, is 200 grand a year.
Yep.
That's what they want to start at, right? And so it's funny that, what are some professions that make $200,000 plus a year? You have lawyers, maybe really good accountants, doctors, even nurses, whatever. Let me ask you this. How many years of school did you have to go to for your last business or your last?
It was 3.5, 4 years.
So 3.5, 4 years, nurse, 4 years, doctor, depending on whatever, it could be a decade or longer to make that kind of income, right? And so how much are you paying universities to be able to do that? Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you're investing. I have a buddy of mine that's orthopedic surgeon. He invested almost $1 million. Like he has like a $700,000 loan or something like that for his education.
Totally.
Right? Yet they want to have the same income as those positions and jobs, but they're not willing to give a split. They don't want to pay more than X amount for a brokerage to learn to trade. Like it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever, right? Yeah. And I think like I look at the top producers, like I've had in the last 7 years, 5 agents break $1 million. Sorry, 4 agents break $1 million in their first year of real estate.
Really?
Every single one of them, though, they paid splits. They learned. They were on every single mentorship. Yep. The fees never mattered to them, right? And I'm not trying to say fees don't matter. It's all a value base, right? If you pay nothing and you get nothing, that's what you should expect, right? Some people charge a lot and you still get nothing. Everybody has a different business model, maybe just based on brand or whatever it is. Yep. But it blows my mind every single time, the difference. Like when somebody walks into my office and is like, I will work for free for the first year. I'm like, this guy's going to make $1 million or gal or whatever it is, right? Different mentalities. Is that something that you're noticing quite a bit as well?
Absolutely. We have our mentorship program where they can pay 30% to work with a selected mentor that's been approved by the managing brokers. Yeah. The agents that come in and they hear that and they say, absolutely, that sounds fantastic. I need to learn. Yeah. Those are the ones that are going to be successful. Yeah. And the ones that come in and say, oh, I don't want to give up 30%. I know exactly what directions that's going. And it's a ton of headaches for me and legal exposure for them. Yeah. Every time.
And it's funny. It's really the mindset is the difference that you see. And I think, now there's not a lot of agents coming into the business. We're in the, not for you guys up in Kamloops, but in the Lower Mainland, it's 25-year low in real estate sales. Yep. We just had a stat come out that's been all over everywhere that 70% of the agents in Canada didn't even do a deal last year. Yep. I know the Fraser Valley Board, for example, last year they just brought out a statistic. They had 1,200 people attend the medallion, which is the top 10%. This year they didn't, I guess, have enough people qualify. So the last ticket sales was 289, even though they opened up to everybody and nobody wanted to come, right? So it really is like this shift in the business that we're going and who's going to succeed and who's not. And I think if you start in this business and you go down the right direction or you're sticking it out and you're working your ass off, the reality is like it's going to separate the boys from the men, girls from the women, or whatever you want to call it, right? It's a time that's going to wean out everybody for sure. So going forward, what are your goals for yourself personally and for your business in the next year or two?
Yeah, having a little bit of a focus on getting back into some sales. The learning curve becoming the managing broker over the last year, there's a lot to learn, a lot of systems, a lot of experience to be gained. Yeah. Fortunately, the curve felt rather steep because it's just trial by fire. I'm really excited to focus on some real estate sales again this year. And we're lucky in Kamloops to have a fairly active market still for those that are working. And it's been a great start to the quarter. Most of our office, even our brand new agents, have multiple listings, have made sales already. And it's because we're supporting them. And they're there and they come in and they have they latch onto our culture, which is work hard, get out there and hit the pavement, and they're getting the listings, they're getting the sales.
But so I just want to kind of revert back to that. So that culture, like I know you guys are doing things that most brokerages don't do. And it's not, just to be very clear, it's not even universally at all Stonehouses by any means. We have collaboration days and a bunch of other stuff, but talk about like the door knocking thing that you guys were doing for a bit.
Yeah, we have weekly meetings in our office that people come in and especially the newer agents are encouraged to show up every week to make sure they're focusing on the right things. So every 2 weeks we select a new neighborhood, and we have 15 to 20 neighborhoods in Kamloops. Yeah. And our goal by the end of first quarter this year is to have door knocked every single house in Kamloops. Wow. And we're going neighborhood by neighborhood and canvassing, and everyone will know who we are. Yeah. And the newer agents are the one that are hitting the pavements the hardest.
Yeah.
But even our busiest agents in our office are doing the same. And we're assigning basically every agent gets a street or two
That's awesome.
in each neighborhood. And we're hitting every single one.
But that right there speaks volume of the culture that even
Yep.
the agents, and you guys do have some rock stars in the brokerage, that even they're, maybe obviously they don't have time necessarily to do the 200 doors or 100 doors like the newer agents do, but they're even a part of it. It's pretty huge.
It is. And it's because it's working right now.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. And people are seeing that. I mean, not every agent, and we're not forcing our agents to do this. Most of the office is participating. Everyone has different lead pillars and wants to put their time towards other things.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we need to show the new agents that this is what works, and that's why we're doing it.
So working with a bunch of experienced agents, a bunch of rock stars, and you said you're going to kind of double down or triple down on your business this year.
Absolutely.
What are you going to be focusing on, and what do you find like the agents that you work with that are having the most success? What are they focusing on in this challenging time to kind of get deals done?
Yeah, the newer agents, again, they're hitting more of the more traditional styles.
Yeah.
My goals for the first start of this year is to really jump into the new dynamic that we have in our tech world. Obviously, AI is blown up. The way that we get leads is changing, and the way that we create those systems is changing, and we need to stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
So I'm working on creating my systems that make my business more efficient, but also the way that my business brings leads in.
Yeah.
Because I can only service so many of them, but I want to be able to have the option to provide leads to the rest of the office as well.
Yeah.
As I become busier, as we get more agents for Stonehaus, I know that it's not always going to be sustainable for me to service everybody.
Yeah.
But making sure to stay ahead of that and have the phone numbers to call.
Yeah.
Not just the doors to knock.
So what are some of the systems that you're going to be implementing to kind of do that? Like, what are your thoughts?
So I'm diving deep on our Lofty system
Nice.
that we have with Stonehaus, and I'm noticing a major shift in the trend of the leads that are coming through that are tied to my website. And a lot of the sources on those leads is coming as ChatGPT.
Oh, wow.
As AI sources. They're not just Google anymore. They're not Google and Facebook. Half of my leads are from ChatGPT.
Wow.
Yeah.
So AI is really kind of picked in even on the lead source.
It is. And I don't know how it works. That's all above my head, but I want to learn about it and I want to optimize it because that's really started to pour in since I activated that. And it hasn't required much effort yet.
And what about like this, like the other guys in the office? What have you noticed they've been doing to kind of build their business or maintain their business anyways in the market like we have?
Honestly, the most successful agents in my office are doing the simplest thing, and it's the ones that are showing up at the office every day, coming in and putting their head down and doing the work.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what work you're doing. If you're at home, you're probably not working consistently on the real estate business. People that are coming into our office and putting the time in are seeing the deals come to them.
Yeah.
And that's calling their circle. Yeah. That's working on the same systems that I'm working on.
Yeah.
I'm making sure that they're taken care of and following up with their clients and putting yourself in front of your workstation. Maybe for some people it's at home, but I'm seeing that the agents that are coming to the office are doing the most business.
Awesome. Okay. So last question, and then we'll wrap it up. It's been really good. Yeah. So if you're a brand new agent or a newer agent, right? Actually, a couple questions. I lied. I think I say that every single episode. So if you're a newer agent, what are the things you should focus on right off the hop, right? If you're a brand new agent, what are some of the things, seasoned agent, what are some of the things that if you're not doing right now, they should definitely be implementing or looking at? And then, give us your top picks with that.
A brand new agent, just focus on learning what you want to do. Pick a niche, pick a type of person that you want to work with, and hit that hard.
Yeah,
hit your avatar. Focus on learning. If you want to be all about condos, learn everything you can about them and canvas every condo building in your city.
Yeah,
focus up and create your niche, and then that niche will start to come to you. Nice. And make sure that you're exposing that to everyone. I mean, social media is our free marketing. Yeah, I'm not great at it myself. I've hired someone to do that. But the agents that are doing that well, even the brand new ones, are seeing the results, paid dividends. The seasoned agents, I mean, they need to keep prospecting. However they've managed to build their business, if they're successful seasoned agents, go back to that, really track what you're doing. My best agents that I have know exactly what tasks they're working on that produces the most results for them. Yeah. Because they're tracking it.
Yeah. So tracking, especially like back in 2021, 2022, you didn't have to track. It just fell from the sky.
Yes.
So now knowing where the numbers come from is huge.
Yeah. The people that are treating real estate like a business are successful. The ones that treat it like a job are not doing as well.
Fair enough. Okay, so last question actually this time. So if you're a buyer or seller out now, right? So the actual clients that are looking to buy or sell, what are you recommending? What are you seeing is the best niches within the markets that like you're finding the best value, like going from our first time home buyers doing well, upsizers, like where do you find the sweet spot in the market we're at today?
I think it's a really good time for first-time home buyers and investors specifically, because I haven't seen as much movement on the nicer end, on the higher end homes.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of options for multi-family properties. The lower price properties right now have exceptional value and better than I've seen in the last few years. So people that are wanting to get into that, starting your first-time home buyer journey on the low end is always a plus, and it looks like we're on the low end.
Yeah. And also, I think now, like, there's so much more security being a first-time home buyer. You can actually have subjects.
Totally.
You know, you can get your financing in order. Like, there's a security blanket there, a due diligence period that actually exists where that didn't happen in the hot markets, right?
No.
Okay, awesome. So if they're looking to buy or sell with you or want to get mentored, learn more, how do they reach out to you, Ben?
Absolutely. You can reach me at benrhack@gmail.com or at 250-300-8316. I'd be happy to work with you or set you up with someone from my office that'll take good care of you, whoever's the best fit.
Awesome. We'll put that information down below as well. But that's it for this time. Thanks, Ben. I really appreciate it. I'm just going to say this. I wasn't joking. He's one of the nicest guys on the entire planet.
Thanks, Sean.
And he does tower over you. But it's like the friendly giant. So at the end of the day, I highly recommend, and this is just not a pitch just to join Stonehaus by any means, but join, don't join, reach out to him, pick his brain. He's a guy that's always going to be there and answer your questions. Till next time, see you on the next podcast. That's it. Toodaloo.
Thank you.